Hey, great Sunday evening. It is a beautiful evening in the city of Brownsville. Uh, Actually, I'm getting a call from one of my attorneys right about now. That usually is kind of a scary thing when you get a call from your attorney at this hour, but it's actually a good thing, and I'll explain it a little bit. Uh, it's been a crazy weather kind of day. Hey, Gideon, how's it going? It says, "Ooh." It's been a crazy weather day. It rained, it poured, it flooded out in Brownsville Country Club and Morrison Road and other parts of the city of Brownsville. That's the thing. Lea. Yun. Silvano, buenas. ¿Cómo estamos, compadrino? My man. Jennifer, good evening. Silvestre. Ay, Jeremias, te amo. I love you. Saucio family, good evening. How's it going? Joe Rodriguez, my man. How you doing? You're next. What's up in the bingo? We'll talk about the bingo. Where is Olivo Frankie? Olivo Frankie has retired. Uh, you know, that once they hit that pension age, I don't know if he was afraid about the Rona, but he decided, he wanted to dedicate all his time to the campaign. So he's out there campaigning. So we wish him well. We'll still invite. We're still going to invite him to come on because we're that right, Carlos. We're cool that way. We're cool that way, right?
That's right.
Good evening,
We're
Canada.
cool that way.
Good evening, Kimberly. Evening, Alberto Candela. Saludos a Richard. Buenas noches. El Sancudito Loco. Let me tell you, we'll talk about Sancuditos in a bit. Jason, my man, how's it going? Goodness gracious, everyone is coming in. Good evening, gentlemen. I would like to sign from you, Mr. Lizondo. I think he's having them. Getting them, Carlos? Carlos?
They're being printed. Mine are not as fast as you guys.
Well, actually, my signs are recycled. Recycled. Oh, no. Buenas noches, bendiciones, María Elsa. Manuel, buenas, ¿cómo estás? Erasmo, ¿cómo estamos? Linda, hermosa. Pedro, how's it going? Hola, buenas noches. Good luck. Yes, good luck. Nice, clean look, Mr. Lizondo. Finally. And I'm almost sure he's got pants on today. I love you. Renato, my man. Good evening, Guadalupe Murillo. Juan, saludos. Let's start right there, guys. Thank you so much for all the saludos. Hey, Chrissy. Let me tell you, it did flood again today. Carlos, how you doing tonight?
Doing well, man. Just can't complain. There's a lot of water. It kind of wanted to flood here where I live, but you know what? We got good drainage system. We're on right behind the Walmart. We got all those resakas and stuff like that. But I don't know how good it was over there on the west side. I bet you they had some issues.
Yeah, it's let me tell you, I tried to get through Brownsville Country Club, and I couldn't. And I don't live in Brownsville Country Club. Yo no soy rico como Carlos Elizondo, pero I tried to do a drive-through, boom, 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 a drive-through the Brownsville Country Club, and let me tell you, it's not going to happen. Didn't happen. You got some volume on. I don't know which one, Carlos. Ms. Huerta, how you doing? Se bañó, sí, se bañó, Carlos. Good evening, Eliasa. That sounds better. Where's Frankie? Frankie is out campaigning. It's a good cause. Carlos, one of the issues that we have in the city of Brownsville is a lot of flooding. And what that doesn't help is we start to get a lot of mosquitoes out there. And let me tell you, the mosquitoes are bravísimos. For some reason, they seem to be like 10 times bigger than I've seen them before. O sea, it seems like for some reason we're not catching a break here in the city of Brownsville. It's one thing after another. How's the mosquito situation been for you, Carlos?
Real bad. Nobody has come in to where I live to spray, but they know that. I mean, the city knows that this is happening, so they should that department with more individuals, more people, and if they need to pay them overtime to work a little extra hard, I'm sure there's a lot of people right now that are hired for some money, and I'm sure they will. But if they know that it's going to rain, it's going to continue to rain, go start spraying. Spray early. Prepare before this stuff continues to get out of hand. I mean, the mosquitoes are probably, like someone was saying, They're like urracas. They're
No, I'm
huge.
not. They're
Now you
huge.
have all
Yeah.
these compromised people. You have Rona going on. What are you going to do? Now you have mosquitoes.
Fíjate que it's very weird, pero I mean, I'm talking about como que te siguen los mendigos. I go from my house to my car y se meten como cuatro o cinco al carro, and my car is so small que no, hombre, le digo, hey, ya no cabemos, o ustedes se quedan o yo me voy. Which one? Because don't fit in my car. It's just a really, really bad situation. But I agree with you in regards to the spraying. I don't think the city of Brownsville has been proactive enough in regards to the spraying situation. I mean, we just went through the Hannah deal, and that was this past week, if I'm not mistaken, this past weekend. And let me tell you, that they're planning they threw out the schedule for spraying starting on Tuesday, and I'm going like, was ya un poquito muy tarde, no?
Yep.
We're still barely getting over the first round of mosquitoes, and from this rain, we're probably going to see another big old round of mosquitoes, no?
Oh yeah, for sure. They're not going to stop. And then you have the issue with the tires. There's a lot of standing water. There's a lot of areas stay flooded that the standing water doesn't help out with this mosquito breeding. It's going to get worse. They need to put out these individuals to go out there and put those mosquito tablets in the water, the standing water, so that way it kills the eggs, and that way you'll lessen the effect of these mosquitoes being born and then going out there and doing what they're doing, hitching a ride with you, Erasmo.
Sí, se subieron todos al carrito. Oye, pero parte del problema, Carlos, let me tell you, is that one of the things that a lot of the people have expressed is how their trash hasn't been picked up. It hasn't been picked up for days, and they were atrasados. So if the trash, it goes, one thing leads to another. If the trash hadn't been picked up, I'm going to guess that the tires that you mentioned, also hadn't been picked up. And that the reason that the city gave us for that was because las personas que trabajan for the Republic, for the trash company, a great percentage of them had tested positive. So they weren't coming to work. So ellos están atrasados. Si están atrasados en recoger all those tires and all those other things that collect water, pues we're going to be kind of screwed, no?
Yeah, but Erasmo, that's not our issue. That's a vendor. The vendor should prepare to be able to get these individuals, or have another plan in place to, if something like this happens, which is going to continue to happen, they're going to continue to get sick, whether it be corona, or whether it be flu, or whether it be whatever it is. They need to reach out. Those vendors need to have a contingency plan to be able to go out there and figure out what they're going to do. It shouldn't fall back on the citizen, the taxpayer, to say, okay, well, you have an issue, and I can understand maybe at the beginning, but at this point in time, they're a little late in the game. They should already know, if they can't handle it, then hire other people that can. Just like our city, public service. If they cannot do it with whoever they have on hand because they're sick, they can go out into the private, hire individuals that are going to come in there and help us, especially during this pandemic or this emergency. I heard one of the individuals through a Zoom meeting were saying, what, well, we didn't expect this and we didn't expect that, and we weren't prepared for this, but we're doing something, and it's not our fault. Yeah, it is your fault. You're getting millions and millions of dollars to make sure that the work gets done. Go out there and do it. And if you can't handle it at this moment in time, then hire someone to come and help you do it. Don't push it back on us. We still need the service. We have trash out there. We have tires. We have mosquitoes now, infestations. Plus, add the Rona.
Well, una de las cosas que dice Don Jose Hernandez, I agree with. It seems like this 2020 we haven't got a break. We haven't gotten a break. It's been a horrible year, and it doesn't seem like it's getting any better. But one of the things that I'm concerned with is, with a lot of mosquitoes out there, comes the great possibility of enfermedad. Él menciona el dengue. There's other, diseases, a lot of other stuff. Now, think of it this way. You may get sick. What do most people here do? They tend to go to the hospitals. The hospitals are not doing too good. And, a lot of individuals, like we were talking to Joe Valdez yesterday, a lot of individuals will go to the hospitals out there. And, there's a great possibility that you're going to contract Rona while you're out there. So it's just one thing is compiling over another thing and another thing and another thing. And part of the problem, I think, Carlos, is that something that you mentioned. I think that our leadership has failed us in regards to not being proactive enough, to to have a lot of the resources necessary to fight off all these things that we're facing. Y una de las cosas que dicen as an excuse, which really it's kind of lame, dicen, well, no one expected all this. We couldn't have ever prepared for something like this. And go like, well, está bueno, te la paso, bro. I mean, no one expected the Rona, but prepare for something. You know, prepare for algo. Tell us
Exactly.
we didn't prepare to this extent, but this is the vision that we had to prepare for this, and we prepared for nothing. I'm going to make one more mention, and I'm going to let you have your take on it. I was speaking with Jorge Valdez yesterday, Joe Valdez. Jorge es el hermano. I was speaking to Joe Valdez yesterday, and I said, I really personally think that the city has created, there's two mistakes, two groups that we need to lay blame on. First of all, we all have to take responsibility on a personal basis. First, blame on the personal side. People need to be a little bit more responsible in regards to dealing with the different situations that come their way. Personal responsibility above all. Second of all, we didn't prepare a mass unit. We didn't prepare a hospital. We didn't get the FEMA dome ready. We didn't get an abandoned school ready. Nothing. So what happens is our hospitals were full of patients where we could have had one specific location solely for coronavirus. Something that now the state has done with McAllen, Texas, as they've converted their convention center into a mass unit, a COVID-19 hospital. What's your take?
Yeah, they're obviously preparing. They're a little more in front of the ball, as you can say. If the ball is chasing you, they're preparing us for something that can and there is a high potential of happening. I mean, here we're just let's see if it happens, let's see if it doesn't, And when they do that, Erasmo, is they're putting people's lives at stake. That I don't know this deal. It's just real quick. I'll show you real quick. I sent it to you. I don't know if you can see it. This is what's happening. If you can, I don't know if you can see it. Let me see.
I got it.
This is what the city is doing to people who are helping us. People who are helping us. That's what they're doing. They bring them in, they ask for their help, and then when they do, they try to find the individuals. That right there is just an ambulance company that's coming to try and help us out because we can't ask for the help. And now they're telling them, okay, there's too much work for you. You're making us look bad. It's time to start putting these little red signs on your vehicle so you can leave. But they're not telling the public that they can facilitate the calls. Same thing with everything else as well. McAllen is having every individual that wants to help the city help. Because it's costing the city zero. They're figuring out how they're going to be able to collect from the services that they're providing. That makeshift hospital that you were talking about before, the MASH hospitals, McAllen is doing it. They've converted one of the facilities there for the overdose. We have not done anything. You mentioned the sports park. You mentioned that disaster center that's over there, the dome. What have they done?
Jessica, I'll respond to your question.
What have they done?
You're lagging a little bit, but it's still good. Erasmo, Carlos, your opinion on the latest statement from Trey Mendes? He posted the city is catching up with numbers. Not to get alarmed that they reported 935 positive for Brownsville. Jessica, I'm going to disagree with the mayor. I saw the statement out there. I'm going to disagree with the mayor. I think right now is that lo que está pasando is we're going through a little calm, and then we're going to go back into storm mode. Take into consideration, Jessica, that a lot of our personnel from BISD are going back onto campus. And they're going back onto campus.
Yep.
Sooner or later, they're going to ask more and more people to come back onto campus. It's not going to be a good thing, guys. Now, lo que pasa, part of the problem is once people start easing off in regards to, it's getting better, es cuando se arranca toda mi gente para la playa. Do I think the numbers are getting better? I'm going to disagree. I don't think so. I think that a lot of the individuals, the funeral homes, would tend to disagree a little bit because they haven't been able to catch up. So I'm going to disagree with the mayor, but again, maybe he's seeing numbers that I'm not seeing. I just don't see that we're easing off in regards to the individuals who are passing away. Because again, I measure it by going to my news feed, and I'm seeing all those black ribbons, black ribbons, people asking for prayers, for prayers, as they have, people on ventilators, on being intubated. So I'm going to disagree, Carlos.
I'm going to disagree too, because you know what's happened right now in the last few days, in the last, let's say, week, we've had these storms, these tornadoes. Nobody has been doing anything other than figuring out how they're going to be able to get out of that one. So a lot of people are not reporting anything. They got an immediate threat, which was a tornado. Some people's houses, roofs just came off of them. They're flooded out. Now you have mosquitoes. So there is no reporting. That reporting, like you say, has been lagging for what, since spring break. Now it's just lagging a little bit more. So those numbers that you watch, they're going to spike, and they're going to spike dramatically. And if you go to the island, you see the videos that are out there. There's people out there doing like nothing. They're out there with their kids. They're in sunbathing. They've got their beach towels. They're just going everywhere. The restaurants are open. The bars are open. The spike is going to come back again. And the hospitals right now, because of the threats, like you said, now you have mosquito infections. You have the Rona. You have the people who are already, comorbidities at diabetes and cancer and all these dialysis treatments and they're already making the hospital be to a point to where that's it. They're going to have to close doors. And that's basically what it's doing. Is the survival of the fittest. Is called triage. Whose lives is more valuable than the others, and who can we save and we cannot. What's going to happen here? Open up these areas just like McAllen did, just in case, which more than likely the case is going to be so that they're going to be needed. We are not doing that here. We opened up more testing centers. That's great. But if they're sick, where are you going to take them to? The hospitals are overwhelmed. EMS, ambulance services are overwhelmed. The fire department is overwhelmed. There's nurses I talk to, because I am a nurse as well. Thank you, sir. That reach out and say they are quitting. They're walking out from their job because they cannot stand the stress anymore. The exhaustion has gotten to them. They've hit the wall, Erasmo. They are leaving their careers because they cannot handle the stress anymore. That us citizens and our leaders are putting these hospitals. There's only 2 hospitals, Erasmo, in the city of Brownsville. We don't have like McAllen has 3 or 4, plus they have Edinburgh closed, plus they have Westlaco closed, plus they have all these freestanding ERs. We don't have that. We can't depend on anybody else other than ourselves. Make these individuals who are at the city, open it up, man. Get the private industry here to help us out. They don't want to do that because they don't want to say, just like BISD and Erasmo that you've been telling them, yeah, you were right. Yeah, Carlos, you were right 3 years ago when you wanted to help bring in the private industry to help us out to prepare for days like this. You were right. We fired you because we were idiots. We fired you because we didn't have the foresight. And Erasmo, we don't want to, because 3 months or 5 months ago you told us this was going to happen. We don't want to say you were right, because then you are declared the winner. But yeah, we're going to expose all these people. We're going to get all these people, and eventually it's going to catch up to us. They're going to die. More. They're dying right now. We're going to have more deaths.
That's one of my biggest concerns, is that there's so much misinformation out there, Carlos. There was a lot of misinformation in regards to, what you were mentioning 3 years ago. There's a lot of misinformation now. And, a lot of the decisions that most individuals make out there are based on wonky, ineffective numbers. And, again, the county is out there saying that, we had 1 death yesterday in the city of Brownsville. It's impossible. Impossible. We had 0 deaths the day before. It's impossible. It's impossible. So what happens is you've got city leadership reporting different numbers, and then you've got BISD making decisions in regards to returning our staff onto campus based on wonky numbers. Now, the numbers are so messed up, guys. The numbers are so messed up in the county that the state of Texas has had to come in and intervene. O sea, qué vergüenza, ¿no? Qué vergüenza that we got 4 to 5
Oh,
people from the state of Texas coming down, having to work our health department. And that happens because we continue to hire individuals who are not qualified for key positions. You know, their political favors, their, getting al compadre, al amigo in the positions, or getting your yes people in different positions. Because that's very, very common, Carlos. It's common in the city, it's common at the district, it's common at TSC, it's common everywhere. You get the yes people to
yeah,
the key positions, you pay them a lot of money, and they'll always be your yes people.
that's right. You have Dr. Wells, who's in charge of the health for the city, dictating to the EMS and fire whether a life that they're going to go respond to is worthy of saving. Dr. Wells, well-known individual here before in the past, left for whatever reasons, is back now for political reasons. Someone brought him in, whether it be Ben Neese because he owes him a favor or not, is now dictating, is creating policy to say the citizens of Brownsville who call 911 are going to be told whether their family members are worthy of saving, worthy of transport, Erasmo. What have we come to now? Who is Dr. Wells to dictate if my mother, my father, my grandfather, my son, my daughter is worthy of being saved? And then you have firefighters and EMS that have to follow that policy because their fire chief tells them they have to follow it because it's the orders coming down from Dr. Wells. Who is Dr. Wells? When has he become God to say, if my family is being worthy of an EMS transport? Who is he and the fire chief to dictate to these individuals that respond to 911 calls to come out here? Imagine the pressure that these guys have, or these ladies have, to go out there and say, you know what, I'm sorry, but I can't transport your loved one because the fire chief, Jared Sheldon, and Dr. Wells have created policies that says because you might have a potential of carrying the COVID virus that we cannot transport you, your life is not worthy. I would never have given that order as the fire chief. There is no way everybody is being worthy of being saved, regardless of who you are. That is where we are now at Erasmo.
Yes. That's where we're at right now. City commission, county commissioners remain invisible, derelict of responsibility. Let me tell you, I have yet to see any county commissioner at all. Not a single one. And I mean, I'm out there everywhere. I have yet to see a city commissioner, except when I go eat. I've yet to see a city commissioner. I mean, the only city commissioner that's come on here is Jessica, and of course the mayor of the city of Brownsville. But is Dr. Fauci in town? No, Dr. Fauci is the left yesterday. He stayed over at my house on Friday. Is MEMS is nobody decide who lives and who dies. You're right, and but again, take into consideration, we knew that this was happening. We knew that this was going to happen. It's kind of weird, pero como the lack of vision, Carlos, of our city leadership, of our county leadership, the lack of vision at the district is really putting people in the grave. Is causing a lot of the death out there, and I just don't see how a lot of these individuals, can sleep at night. We are in a very, very bad situation because of lack of leadership.
They have failed us, Erasmo. I mean, they have the letter where the chief sent out and tested a lot of individuals from EMS and fire because they're the first responders. They're the front line. They're the ones that are going out there and saving people. They tested, I don't know how many individuals. And guess what they did? Guess what the fire chief? They sent the test results to a lab in California or Florida. I can't exactly. I would have to look at the paper. And they were all lost. And tell me if he went out there and he stopped these individuals from going out there and continuing to service the most ill. He didn't. He let them continue to go. We'll get you test another day. Those are the steps that we need to have these people and be held accountable by our commission, Erasmo. They're the people who provide the service. If they're not doing their job, then they must be changed. They must be put somewhere else. I don't say maybe fire them, but put them somewhere else where maybe they need Maybe they're good at stapling papers, making stamps, but they have failed us at this moment in time.
Well, let me tell you something. Sergio Eduardo was mentioning about face coverings and face masks and the importance of wearing face masks. And guys, one of the things that I will say about the citizens of the city of Brownsville, I do see a lot more individuals, going to Walmart, going to HEB, and with their masks on. So in that respects, I'm glad that they're doing it. I don't know if they're doing it because now face mask is required upon entering it, but I'm very, very glad that at least you see a lot more people around town with face coverings. It's kind of weird too because I never in my life imagined that we would start looking like China, is where everyone out there, or Mexico City, where everyone wears a mask because of the pollution in the air. But sure enough, it seems like we need our face masks. How come the chief doesn't do a press conference and give us solutions, take questions from the public? Because
I can answer that
they,
one real quick.
they don't want to go.
You want me to answer that one?
Yes, please.
The reason that he can't do a press conference, you can't do a press conference while you're hiding at home. That's why the media is not going to go to your home when you're hiding there and you're leaving your fire and your EMS personnel out there to do the job. Your leader is at home, scared of catching the coronavirus, and from his mouth to his underlings, City Manager Noel Bernal gave him the authority to stay home. It's ridiculous. If I had any spit right now, I would spit it just like you do for every other individuals. That's why he doesn't come. That's why you've seen him, because I called him out on it on a post, that he's unavailable for these individuals who are asking for help. So he ran out of his house in his pajamas and his boots, as you can see the picture, and he went and he pointed at a tree, Erasmo. A tree that had fallen, while there's individuals out there dying, begging for help, begging for ambulance, and he's pointing at a tree. That's your chief.
Crazy.
That's who the commission needs to address. But they blame the city manager for everything. They failed us. They continue to fail us, Erasmo.
It is. This is very true. EMS doesn't pick up and transfer people in need and critical ill due to COVID. As seen this several times, the explanation is that they need to take care of first responders. People are being left home to die. Yulisa, I've been seeing it for months now. It is happening. Someone asked this today and thought it was an interesting question. Any word on if the increased mosquito prevalence can affect the spread of COVID? Actually, we asked that question from some of our doctors when this first started, and the answer that they gave us, Sergio, was no. But other disease that mosquitoes may carry won't help out if someone does contract Rona. So it's like one thing compiles with another, and a lot of the morbidity out there, a lot of the deaths out there happen when you have compounded things, in your curriculum in regards to your health. So it's not a good thing. So no, I think I even asked that question many, many weeks ago. It's a great question because I asked it.
Good. It is a great question, but you're right, Erasmo. They're compounding factors. They're comorbid conditions that a patient has. That when these mosquitoes, and they spread a lot of disease, it just doesn't help. It doesn't help with this coronavirus, with now the flu, and then now if you have diabetes, high blood pressure, cancer, asthma, it just makes it even worse. But it is a great question. I don't think the studies are out there, and I don't think that enough whether it can be transmitted through mosquitoes.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, Sergio and Carlos. One of the things that I was driving my scooter the other day, and I drive it around downtown a lot, and I started to think, oh, good God, I better not fall off my scooter, because if I fall off my scooter and break my arm or my leg, I'm going to go to the hospital and I'm going to contract Rona. So I think part of the concern, Sergio, I would say is, guys, don't get sick. And that's one of the reasons why I think it's so important for everyone to do the social distancing, eat well, hydrate yourself, so that for any other reason, me fregué el codo, or something, a traffic accident, please, guys, uh, don't go to the hospital, because, like, Joe, our friend Sergio, told us yesterday, there some of us believe that you go to the hospital, you're going to get Rona, you know, because it's the ventilation system, because of you're inside that building. So again, vas allí porque you got a splinter in your finger, and you leave with Rona, and then you're 4 or 5 weeks, being cafeciado. It's not a good thing. So yeah, one of the things that we learned today was in regards to the bingo open today, and you know the bingo open today, and of course, that's really, really something that's very, very essential. Sure, it's a great idea in the middle of a pandemic. In the middle of a pandemic, let's open up a bingo. Let's bring in all the viejitas, all the viejitos into a building, all in line. No, very little social distancing. It's a great idea. Now, Carlos, the city, I think, has to give permits for these places to open, don't they?
Yes.
Would you open up? Would you give a
They need
permit to
special
open up
permits.
a bingo? Would you give a permit to open up a bingo in the middle of a pandemic?
No. No, I would not, because a bingo is only going to attract who? It usually attracts las personas de la tercera edad, or you're elderly, right? And I can
Viejito.
understand that some of these people want to get out of homes. I do understand that. It's a jail for most of these individuals, especially a retired couple. They want to be out there. They want to be at the McDonald's drinking their coffee or the Whataburger, socializing with their friends and stuff like that. But at the same time, those are the individuals that are dying because of actions like this. And the only thing you're doing is you're opening up the door to death, man. For some of these people, they don't realize, and some of them don't want to see it that way. But you know what? If they get a virus, the probabilities of them dying and getting intubated is very high, because they already have comorbid. They have compounding issues, like you were saying, Erasmo. Your type 2 diabetes, they have your high blood pressure, they have your asthma, your bronchitis. They have all these issues, because guess what? As we get older, la carrocería doesn't get any better.
Yeah, I
Unless
wouldn't
it's you,
know.
right, Erasmo?
Yeah, I wouldn't know a lot about that since I'm so young, Carlos, and handsome and totally not fat. But let me tell you, I,
Yeah.
I'm con- I'm concerned, Carlos, because I've seen the people that go to the bingo. Son las personas que van en los carritos eléctricos, because they have trouble walking. They're going with their walker. Son los viejitos, the ones that sometimes are already on oxygen masks. Y ahí están los viejitos at the bingo. Buena bingo, or
Yep.
whatever they call it. And the one we had on Price Row was bad enough. Siempre estaban el parking lot hasta la maíz. Now we've got two.
Yep.
Two.
Yeah. Yeah.
And guys,
This is a great
who in
question.
who in their right mind? Who in their right mind? City of Brownsville. Who in their right mind goes out there and gives permits for a bingo to open up in the city of Brownsville in the middle of a pandemic, when you have small business out here downtown fighting to get a permit to open a small business, and they have to wait months before anything happens? And anyone that wants to tell me it's bull, I'll tell you right now. Our friend, Alex Guerrero, who passed away this weekend. Alex Guerrero, he constantly told a story about having to pay rent for over a year downtown, over a year, because the city of Brownsville had him going through hoops and red tape in order to open Don Alec downtown. A nice little bar, a nice
Yep.
little restaurant. Months. He paid rent for almost a year, if not over a year, to open a business downtown. Yet you've got a bingo opening up in 2 months' time, 2 months' time, And I know it's about 2, 3 months time because that's where I think in that area was where our state senator had his function. So in 3 months time, the city immediately goes out there and gives permits to open a bingo in the middle of a pandemic. How does that make sense to anyone? Anyone? Carlos?
Yeah, I just don't think it should be open right now. I mean, unless there's measures. I haven't been in there, Erasmo. And I don't think I have time to go either. But there has to be huge measures. I mean, what are they going to do to minimize the infection? I don't know. I mean, bingos are bringing in a lot of people. A lot of our people love bingos, man. They love it. I just don't see why it would be opened at this moment in time. I mean, I think it's too soon. Like you said, that bar that was going to be open for Mr. Guerrero, I don't think he ever opened it. They never gave him a permit.
Never.
Did you go? You go over next door. You go over next door, street down, and City Commissioner Benny's opened his in no time at all.
Carlos,
He bypassed for sprinkler systems.
Yeah. You go by downtown and that building that Don Alex rented for over a year, it literally has the name of the restaurant, the bar, still has it on the building. Never opened up. Carlos Elizondo, counselors for the district. Huh? You're lagging.
You're right. That's a good question.
Counselors for the district did not get a raise this year. They are also given a lot of duties that have nothing to do with counseling. When you get elected, what will you do for the counselors of BIZ?
That's a great question. And I tell you what, number one would be is hold the superintendent accountable. He is the person that's going to dictate whether these counselors reduce the BS work that they're getting and then focus on the actual work that needs to be done by counselors, not this petty stuff that they want to give them. Not only that, then you would have to go back and look at the budget that this current BIZ board approved and left the counselors out. And they shift them over to a different area, or if you look at it, a column, because what they wanted to do is they wanted to make sure that they gave all the teachers a raise, which is great, and leave the counselors out because they are this much compared to the teachers who are huge as a voting bloc. But they don't understand that counselors touch a lot of lives just like teachers do. And they're a vital component to the school district. So ultimately disrespectful for them to exclude counselors and teachers and diagnosticians because they do move a lot of people just like teachers do. I believe that everybody should get the raise that they were supposed to get and not leave anybody out. But first and foremost, go in there day one, superintendent accountable for his shortcomings.
Carlos, the numbers are in for Cameron County. The numbers are in for the city of Brownsville. Guys, 935 for the city of Brownsville. 935 positives for the city of Brownsville, guys. 40, 13, get one, 53, 105, 137 children. 137 school-aged children. 935 positives in the city of Brownsville. Carlos, what do that tell us?
It's insane, Erasmo. It's insane. It's going to get worse. It is going to get worse. And these city commissioners and these county commissioners, BIZ board has to do something about it today. They have to. They have to do something and stop being reactive. They need to be proactive, just like Hidalgo County is. Proactive. I got someone who wants to come into the meeting.
Hey, Bobby!
Oh,
got an audience. Guys,
So guess
935
what does
positive for
that
the
do?
mother.
What does that do to
Well,
the hospital staff, EMS staff, your doctors, your nurses, your respiratory therapists? You think that they're happy with the numbers that they hear coming off of this? All that tells them is that we are in a world of hurt. This is going to continue. It's going to get worse. They will not get any help anymore. The nurses that are coming in on the buses are leaving. Those people are exhausted. Yet they don't have to stay. It's a choice for them to leave. Our nurses, our doctors, our medical staff here don't have a choice. They have to stay and continue to do what they've been doing for the last 4 or 5 months. And it's getting worse. The numbers just keep rising, Erasmo. The deaths are going to keep rising. And guess who now is being affected? Our children. The kids are being affected more.
100%. Saludos, Pablo. Just bendiga, papá. Let me tell you, shut up the bingo down. Shut the bingo down, Judge Trevino. I mean, the county commissioner court has been 100% ineffective. The county commissioner court is a joke at this point. A joke. I mean, the only reason that we're getting numbers today on Sunday, Carlos, we're getting numbers on Sunday, which didn't happen, is because the county commissioner's court said, no, let's not work on Sunday. You know, it's not like we're in the middle of a pandemic. The county commissioner court opted to, let's have a break on Sunday. No, it's not a time to have a break. It's time to hire more personnel. The state of Texas agreed. They brought in 4 or 5 more people to work at the health department because the people there couldn't do the job. They've been misreporting the numbers. Carlos, thank you, Professor. How did you decide to run for BISD trustee versus a city or county office?
I couldn't run for the city because I was a city employee, and since I'm still trying to fight for my retirement, I wouldn't be able to go back there. But BISD is where my heart is, man. It's to help out the future. BISD is the future. But thank you. I appreciate it. That was a good question.
It is a good question. And Jamal, we show up for work physically. See, that's my concern, Claudia. Claudia, our numbers are not going down. Our numbers are not calmed down to the point where we can say, hey, you know, it's all right. Let's start sending our counselors, our administrators. Let's start sending the people back onto campus. It's a huge mistake, Claudia. It's a huge mistake. But these people are so invested in proving us wrong, proving Carlos wrong, proving myself wrong, saying, no, no es cierto. They're so invested in it that they're willing to put our custodians, our food service people, our counselors, our administrators' life on the line. I mean, ¿no tuvieron suficiente? Was it not enough? The disaster that happened during the summer? Was it not enough that our people were used as guinea pigs out there? Carlos, the numbers aren't going down, Carlos. And our people are going to work tomorrow, Carlos.
Hey, but you know what? So is the essential superintendent.
Oh.
Except he shares his office with nobody. He shares his office with no one.
Nadie.
He is at the top level. He doesn't care about anybody below him. He's proven that day in and day out for the last 5 months. He has been trying to force everybody to go back to school. He's trying to force our children to go back to school. You know, as a parent myself of a middle schooler, guess what? She's not going back to Gutierrez. She's not going back, BISD board members, regardless of what you say. You can stand up over there on the little BISD, pulpit and ask parents like myself to take their kids back because you say it's safe, but we know it's not. Just look at the numbers that just came out. We will not take our kids back until we know it's safe.
Well, and I just got a disclaimer in regards to the bingo. The bingo is not owned by the Lucio family. So again, I will, Yulisa, I'll accept your challenge, and I'll do my best to try and find out who is the owner of the bingo. But I will state this because I was given word it is not owned by the Lucio family. It's not owned by our state senator, and it's not owned by our state representative Eddie Lucio. But Luisa, I'll accept the task, and I'll try to find out. Well, let me tell you, Carlos. One of the pictures that I sent you, Carlos, was one that we talked about here on air. They say, well, we're going to provide proper PPE to our people. We're going to provide proper PPE to our people. And well, we come to find out that the hand sanitizer that was sent out and the wipes were expired by 9 years. 9 years. And then they say, we're going to order masks for our people. Carlos, these are the masks.
I want to see them, Erasmo.
These are the masks that they gave my people. And I know that they're the masks because they have the BISD logo on there.
The logo.
But guess what, Carlos? They put the logo on the inside of the mask. On the inside. Where the seam is at. You see? That's where they put the logo. Para acabarla de molar, if you put it like that, the logo is still backwards. That's the quality of work.
That's why he needed those millions to be approved. Or what was it, 500,000?
500,000. The seal is backwards. It's put on the inside where the seam is, because this is a way that this little dust protector is supposed to work. And you know what, Carlos, was funny? My barba, it sticks through the fabric. My barba. It's coming through the fabric.
And they want to give that to who, Erasmo?
Oh, to my counselors that are going to work tomorrow. To my administrators. Look, it's the barba. It's sticking out right there. My beard. It's sticking out. You think that's going to protect anyone from anything?
Erasmo, what is the bag that it comes in? What does it say? There has to be some words on there, specific words. What does it say?
The made in China one?
Does it say not for medical?
Not for medical use. Yeah. It's for dust.
If it's not for medical use, then what do you expect to do? And even then. And I understand some people are saying, well, you're not going to use it for medical use. No, but you're protecting yourself from a virus. So if someone who is out there, a healthcare worker, would not wear that to protect themselves, guess what? Why should our BISD employees be forced to wear this? Who is it going to protect? No one. And then they claim that they're trying to take care of the.
Yes. Yulisa, I found out who it belongs to. It belongs to the Rodriguez Tile Place. The bingo. Eso es súper ridículo. Yo tengo pruebas que no tienen todos los permisos en orden de la ciudad de Bronzeville, no tienen los requisitos de ingeniería en orden. Mándamelo, Silvano, para mostrarlos. Te lo encargo. They have curbside. Well, guys, these are the masks that my people are getting. These should protect real well, Carlos, with the shower curtains.
Exactly. The virus doesn't go above the little string that they put on there, or what?
No.
The virus just floats at level. It won't go over.
No. It's going to magically bounce off the shower curtains from Walmart. Mary Lou, I was informed that the Lucio family does not own the bingo. It was owned by the Rodriguez Tile Company or something. Viva la Rossi. I don't know who that is. Yo tengo una propiedad que tengo 9 meses y no me pueden dar un certificado de ocupancia porque me falta terminar el drainage y el bingo. En 2 meses tiene todo listo. Estoy de acuerdo. Yo le había calculado en 3 meses, pero 2 meses se me hace algo acertado. ¿En qué mente cabe? Counseling is one of the most important in the child abuse. Well, yeah, in all aspects of a child's life. If these people decide to go play bingo and they get the coronavirus, I really won't feel sorry for their stupid decision to go. Yeah, and you know what, Rosie? I understand the sentiment. The problem, Rosie, is de que estas personas son las que regresan a casa and start spreading it all over Walmart, HEB, and everywhere else. Because if they're not that bright enough to go play bingo in a building that probably doesn't have all the certifications of occupancy and everything other out there, although for some reason there was a picture of the city of Brownsville giving them an award or something. What? Where's Ida? Damn. We need more diagnosticians. We're not going to get diagnosticians. We're just not. I'm trying to catch up.
They're already working.
Wow, 935.
Like
900 are from Monday. You're lagging.
I think I found out today that there's about 12 or 13 people that left the school district because they're going to be forced to go to work tomorrow.
15.
And about 15, and then about another 12 that have retired early.
Well, it's a total of 15.
To go back.
12 have retired. No. I can't remember if it's 12 that quit and 3 that retired. Yes. 12 that have resigned and 3 that have retired.
Mm-hmm. Resign. When do you have teachers?
901 day. Yes. 900 and I think 935 is the number I gave. The school board won't. They don't care. They don't care. It says Brownsville has 900 that are too stupid to wear masks and wash hands. Well, we don't know. One of the things that I've experienced, Eric, is that there's some people out there that have taken real good care of themselves. Y de repente, all of a sudden, and you just don't know. Just do not know. And any more field hospitals, not here. And we need one. We need a mass unit. How did that bingo place open in a pandemic? That's exactly my point. How did anyone think opening a bingo hall in the city of Brownsville in the middle of a pandemic when our numbers were skyrocketing, 935 today? Hey, you know what? Let's celebrate by opening a bingo hall today. Congratulations. You get the big prize. Our businesses are going to die. And well, something that Cindy mentions, Carlos, is very true. Look, guys. I eat at restaurants a lot. I'm planning to go to Jack in the Box after this show. I eat at restaurants a lot. Our small restaurants, our small business owners, they're suffering because of the stupidity of some people, because of the failed leadership at the county. The county commissioner's court has failed the city of Brownsville, has failed the county because of the non-seen city commissioners and because of the stupid corrupt board. And at the end of the day, Cindy, you're right. Our city small business, they suffer too, because while they're acting irresponsibly, the people that are acting responsibly in tune have to suffer as well. And the occupancy rate, where it should have been at 75% right now, is back down to 25%. Businesses can't stay open. Mm-hmm. Restaurants cannot stay open. They cannot afford to be at 25% occupancy. They cannot. And no, I don't believe shutting down business is the right thing to do. But goodness gracious, I do think that shutting down inappropriate business is the right thing to do. And that's why, and I love my bars out there. Maybe before a little bit too much, but guys, it was the right thing to do to close down the bars. You know, it was the right thing to do to close down the bars. But goodness gracious, guys, right now to open up a bingo hall? No, man, it's a mistake. And the only thing it's going to do, Cindy, is put our teachers at risk, put our counselors at risk, put our students at risk, put small business at risk, put the mom and pop shops at risk, all because of the stupid leadership that we have in the city of Brownsville. Stupid leadership that we have in Cameron County. Stupid leadership that we have at the district. Because they are putting our people in harm's way by opening up bingo parlors, by not giving us proper numbers, and by sending our staff and our personnel back onto campus. Carlos?
I agree. And then again, Erasmo, and they say that they've come together, they've sat down, they talked. I don't see where any of these individuals, these leaders that we voted up there, have they come together and actually said, you know what, collaboratively, we're going to do this. We're going to make this better for our community. I don't see that. I see everybody's running in different directions. Everybody's going here, there, and nobody's actually doing anything for the greater good. Everybody's just like, yeah, whatever happens, happens. Business as usual. It's not business as usual for the people who are dying. It's not business as usual for the people who are at the front lines at the hospitals or at the, at nursing homes. That's not business as usual, Erasmo.
No. Our people are dying, guys. Our community is dying. What do you guys plan on doing for the unclassified employees? A lot of employees that are what make the schools function, and some barely make $1,000 a month. Let me tell you the first thing that I will do, Carlos. The first thing that I will do is make sure that they are not in harm's way. They're safe. The first thing that I would do, Carlos Moran, I would never ever send a custodian, send our office staff, send our food and nutrition service people. Never would I have sent them back onto campus. I would never have allowed it. Never. And any reasonable board would have fought against it, would have fought administration on it. Any reasonable board. That's the first thing I would do. The second thing that I learned about our classified staff is that they're way, way underpaid. A lot of our staff go to different meetings at Region 1 up here at Edinburgh, and they find out how much other school districts here in the area make. We've got to compare, and we've got to bring our salary up to what a school district our size elsewhere is actually paying our people. It's $1,000 a month. It's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, the people that work at HEB, Carlos, the people who work at HEB make more money than $1,000 a month. Carlos, you want to take it?
Yeah, I agree with you. It probably, to me, would be the safety of every employee. And, some of these individuals, they don't just clean. They do more than that. There are kids see these individuals on a daily basis, man. They hold, a special place to most of these students, and they're not being treated fairly. And they are the ones that are forgotten the most. The people that come in at night when all the kids are home and the teachers are at home, these individuals are out there working. They are the most forgotten employees of the school district. And now they're being forced to go back to somewhere where they know that it's not safe, and then pay them a measly wage to do it. And then give them that stupid mask you're wearing it, Erasmo, that doesn't even protect you.
Nope.
I would want to see the superintendent put that on. I would want to see the board members put those masks on. That's not the ones they use. They use the good ones. They use the ones that protect themselves a little more. This is not only a slap in the face to our staff, but to our community, because guess who's paying for it? We all are. We are paying for their continued mistakes. And guess what, Erasmo? This board has not held this superintendent accountable for all his mishaps.
No.
Not once have I heard you, and I don't expect for them to use the words that we use, right? The idiot, the imbecile. But not once have I heard them say, Rene Gutierrez, you have failed in this. You have failed in that. They always say, and I'm sure you can agree with me, you're doing an excellent job.
Yes.
Who's
Little
back?
Eddie, Minerva, Tracy, Drew, Philip, Laura. Oh, he's doing such a wonderful job. All of them. Santiago, you can find the numbers
Not
on my page. I posted the sheet. Guys, this little thing is what my staff was given. This thicker one. This thicker one is what the board members and the AAs were given. There's a big difference. There's a big difference. I'm sorry, classified staff. I don't give a rat's behind how much little Eddie is out there lying to you. La Prisi, oh, we care about you. We care about you. We're going to give you an increase. I don't care how much they say it. They don't. Not when they're giving you this while they're wearing these. Guys, they don't care. And you know what's going to happen on Tuesday when they have the meeting? They're finally going to give, the extra little money to make it 2,000, Carlos. To make it 2,000. They're going to vote on it on Tuesday. And you know why? Because we've been uniting. We've been fighting for it. AOBE has been fighting for it. While Patrick Hammonds and Alberto Alegria are out there kissing the butt of the board. We're out here fighting for it. And they're going to vote on making it into 2,000. So if after the meeting, Patrick and Alberto want to go out there and toot their horn, they have nothing to toot about. If they want to go out there and continue to kiss the butt of the board, it wasn't because of that. It was because of the pressure that was placed by the teachers, and it's because it's an election year. Because it's an election year.
That's right.
And they just want to aparentar that they're doing the right thing. Guys, they had the opportunity to do the right thing 2 meetings ago. 6 weeks ago, they had the opportunity to do the right thing. Don't settle for crumbs. That's all they want to throw your way. Do not settle for crumbs. Would you know how many COVID-19 patients at Brownsville hospitals? How are they at the ICU beds? I could find out, Juan Carlos. At this moment, I do not know, but I can find out. Face isn't enough. Stricter restrictions need to be implemented. No one should be going onto campus. No one. But Erasmo, if the superintendent can stay safe, so can everyone else. That's what he said. Ahora, guys, one of the things is, Erasmo, you're being negative. You're being negative. No, I'm just posting his words. I'm cutting a clip from the meeting and letting you hear it. And they hate that. They hate that you get to hear the truth. They hate it because they deal in false numbers, in fudged up numbers. We present to you the facts. It's no one's fault but the people. I agree, Eric, partially. Partial responsibility, people's responsibility. Partial responsibility. But we should care who owns it. If just don't go problem solve. No, Eric. We should care who owns it, and I'll tell you why. We should care because it is the root of the corruption. Because my friend here just mentioned that, he's been trying to open up a business for months, hasn't been given anything. So you should start to question how come for some businesses who are buddies with the system, who donate to the campaigns of elected officials, Why is it so easy for them? You cannot turn a blind eye, Eric. You have to fight everything. So yeah, it is personal responsibility, but also we have to deal with corruption. We can't just turn a blind eye and say, no, hombre, no, no, que no vaya la gente si no quiere. No, we need to know why a bingo parlor was granted permission to open in the middle of a pandemic when our numbers grand opening today when the numbers are 935. What
Erasmo,
then? And then
also what you gotta ask yourself is, it's like this gentleman saying, yeah, it's their fault, but these individuals that are being brought into this facility are being given a false sense of security, just like BISD, because they opened it up and they're saying it's okay, and there really is not. It's not free. So ultimately, you're going somewhere. Like if you go to, let's say you go to any restaurant. I'm not going to name a restaurant. You're going there because you feel that they've taken the measures to be able to make it risk free for the individual who's going to go there and buy the food, right? That's what these people are doing. You wouldn't go there if you know, and you say, if I go there, I know I'm going to catch the virus. You will not step in there. If I know that if I'm going in there, it's on fire, I'm going to go in there, I'm going to get burned. Guess what? You're not going to go. These people are making it seem that, hey, it's okay. We've taken all the measures here to protect you. Come on in, spend your money. You are okay here. But in reality, that's not, that's not what's happening. It's what BI is doing. Rene Gutierrez and the board have given our employees a false sense of security by giving them these napkins to wear over their face, because that's what they are. A napkin is probably going to be protect you better than what they've given you. They're creating a false sense of security for these individuals. Not only that, but they're forcing them to go, because if they don't go, there's a potential of these individuals to get fired for insubordination. Or when the contract comes in, they're gonna say, you know what? I'm sorry, but I can't renew your contract, because remember when we gave you those tissue papers to wear to go into work and you didn't, you refused? Guess what? You're not a valuable employee anymore. You failed to come in. You know how that's going to change it, Asmo? November the 3rd is going to change. That's when it will change.
100%. Let me see. But that happens at the island too. So how is shutting down bingo help? Now, let me tell you, I don't agree with the beaches opening up that the way they did, or the bars out there, Eric. But man, come on, man, bingos attract a bunch of viejitos and a bunch of people with already pre-existing conditions, bro. I mean, why? Y el problema is, look, you mentioned something. Well, está bueno. It's their responsibility. They're going to go in there, blah, 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 lo que tú quieras. It's right. El problema, bro. El problema is that these people come back out into the community. And if they're going to be so irresponsible to go into a bingo hall, they're going to come back out here. Bingo open. City Health Department was there for 3 hours, making sure they didn't go over capacity and that there was social distancing. Why all the social graces to this place? Why? I don't get it. Award to spread COVID. Erasmo, Carlos, let's go play bingo. I think I'll pass. Buena!
I'll
Think
pass.
about this. Buena con la muerte. Or there should be any new items. Screw the BISD board. We could really, really mega screw them in November. When is our school board going to realize that our kids need to go to school online till next year, period? 100%. Don't go to school, teachers. The majority who tested positive in one of your valley cities are kids. How about that, folks? It's crazy, guys. Children. God be with us. God help us. I hate it when people say, just wash your hands and you'll be fine. Exactamente. But we know who owns the bingo hall. Again, I was told that the Rodriguez Tile Company, I'm not sure. There was no need in opening the bingo. It's like asking for COVID to come right to them. 100%, Kevin. You're right. Can I open up a skating ring? Only in Brownsville. And the Roadhouse? Hasta la mais. You cannot fix stupid. It's stupid. God bless and protect counselors that are being forced This is the truth, guys. They're being
Yeah.
forced. It's not voluntary. It's not, well, you could probably work from home. No, they're being forced to go back tomorrow. Some have a 10 by 10 square foot office. How inconsiderate of decision makers. People go vote in November. Remember what has been happening. Vote, vote, vote. Puro Matamoros, Tamaulipas. But and go really is an essential, not in the slightest. City Health Department ordinances isn't monitoring business, including malls, bingos, and other establishments that are opening over capacity and with people without face masks. No, but they sure as heck were at the bingo party today. Maybe they were playing. Buena
Yeah.
con la muerte! Inbox. I love my inbox.
Yeah, you go. Yeah, you go. And also, Erasmo, some of these counselors, man, they put them in closets, bro. They have them working. And 10 by 10, I think they mentioned a little while ago, is probably, in some cases, you're being gracious. And some of these people have less than a 10 by 10. They actually have the door and a desk, and that's it. And they expect these counselors to do the job and be safe wearing that mask, Erasmo? Oh, I forget. The school district is always in tune of making them the employee pay for whatever they're going to use to finish and do their work, right? Just like teachers have to pay for glue and pencils and pens and paper. They're going to force it now. They're going to force the employee to bring their own PPE from home, right?
Well, unfortunately, my teachers have no choice, bro. Our teachers have no choice because they're not being provided proper PPE from the school board, corrupt school board. And I understand maybe they don't have enough money because they put it all in Sylvia's pocket. So maybe Drew, Prissy, little Eddie, Minerva, Philip, Laurita. Maybe if they hadn't have put money in Sylvia's pocket and let her continue to control the budget of the district, maybe, guys, maybe there'd be enough money to get PPE, hand sanitizer, and hand wipes that wasn't expired, and get something a little bit more than this
Napkin,
little thing.
tissue.
I've had napkins that are thicker than this. When I eat at Toscafinos, y no es que soy de la high. When I go to Olive Garden, that's jam packed with people right now. Chili's jam packed with people.
Erasmo,
Roadhouse jam packed with
I would
people.
love to. I would love to find out who the vendor for that piece of cloth you're wearing over your ear is. That'd be interesting, especially because they forced down $500,000 to buy them.
Well, yeah, and let me tell you, the problem, Carlos, is if we submit an open records request, guess what?
I know where it's going.
Where?
For Attorney General's opinion.
Opinion. So it doesn't do anything. But folks, we have an opportunity to find out exactly who they bought this mask from. Carlos and myself have a golden opportunity to find out. You know how? If you come out and vote in November. And then you'll find out everything. Because let me tell you,
Yep.
there should be a clear audit. Everything should be transparent. Everything needs to be brought to life. 100%. And you have that opportunity in your hands. You're so right, but that's Brownsville for here. It's what now you know, it's who you know, and why we are how we are. Today, saludos carnales. Castro, Carlos Elizondo, salúdame a mi hermano Carlos. Classified workers are underpaid, but the district can afford 2 deputies for the superintendent. What will you do to those 2 positions at Erasmo? Very simple, guys. We need to rethink the organizational chart at BISD. We need to highly reconsider the organizational chart at BISD. Let me tell you guys, and yes, I was told not to say it. I'm going to say it. I don't care. We don't need seven area supervisors. We don't need 7 area administrators out there. We don't. There was no reason for Rose Longoria to be hired except that she was kissing the butt of Minerva Peña. No reason. None. Zero. Zip. too many AAs. When Dr. Sendejas was here, she had no deputies. She had less area administrators. I think she had 4, maybe 5. It was an A plus district. Sylvia, this corrupt board, this superintendent and his 2 deputies have run this district into the ground by not keeping our people safe, by not providing the proper PPE or proper resources, by sending our individuals back onto campus in the middle of a pandemic, by not even stating that our people have lost their lives because of coronavirus, of COVID-19. Did you notice that, Carlos? No mention of coronavirus for our district?
No, none. Because they do, then they're going to be forced to acknowledge that they're the ones that created this. And I'm not talking about the virus, but the environment for them to catch these viruses. And ultimately, some of our staff died because of that. So they're going to be held responsible. It's like forcing someone to go somewhere knowing that they're going to die. This is what the school board did. This is what the superintendent did. This is what the administrators did. They forced our staff to go in somewhere where it wasn't safe. They forced them. There's consequences to that, monetarily. I don't know how much money it would help to get these families that lost these individuals because of this stupid action. You talk about positions. There's positions in the school district that were created. After I left, you're talking about how many schools are being built. How many schools are being built right now, Erasmo? None.
In the district? None.
0. Yeah. Why would you need an architect? Staffed architect.
Well, because he contributes to everybody's campaign out there. Guys, I can prove it.
Position.
I can prove it. The architect that Carlos mentioned was putting money into the pocket of Prissy and of Drew. So we get screwed for nothing. For nothing.
And then you have Drew Brown, who retired from the school district, knows the deficits and knows the staff. And that's why people voted for her, thinking that they were going to say, we've got one of our own in there. Guess what? Drew Brown has turned her back on every individual of the school district and the children. She has put people in harm's way, and she continues to do it. Look at the masks that she's giving you guys. Prissy doesn't have any children in the school district. Look at the mask she's giving you. Look at what they're giving you right now and expect that in November. If you allow this to continue now, November is the day that you're going to say it's enough. It is enough, because guess what? They're not helping you today. They won't help you tomorrow. They won't help you after November the 3rd.
Hey, guys, and let me tell you something. Teach parents, and I don't know, what's the 2,000 you talking about? 2,000. I don't remember.
Yeah, you said they were going to vote on it tomorrow?
Oh, yeah, fine. They teachers were giving a partial raise. I think they were giving $1,600, some $1,700. They were asking for at least $2,000 raise. They refused to give them a $2,000 raise. They only gave them $1,700 raise. So in this meeting, they're going to pass to give them the other extra little $300. So it will be now, instead of being $1,685, now it's going to be $2,000. That's what parents. I mean, is this because they're going to provide face coverings for the children? How sure are you that your kids are going to be safe with these type of masks that the district is going, that these superintendents providing for our students? It's for fashion. It's for dust.
Para que se cae en la boca.
Para tapar el sol con un dedo.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to get to all the comments. Sorry, guys. Let me try. Did y'all talk about the new bingo place? Yes, you're late. Rewind. The amount of money taxpayers usually pay in BID should be able to cover minimum surgical masks. The mask is ridiculous. Poor employees and poor parents later on after 4 weeks. Chili's is so packed. Yeah, Chili's,
Yeah.
Olive Garden, Roadhouse, no me acuerdo cuál otro. Packed to the max. That and the napkin would be better. Yeah. And you know what? What's funny, Carlos, is that they're going to force people to wear these. Force people to wear these, where it would be 10 times safer for them to wear a napkin from Olive Garden or a napkin from Toscafinos. 10 times better.
And,
Rene Gutierrez,
and
you
Asma,
have
real
failed.
quick,
Go.
and Asma, real quick, and what they're gonna do, and this is just, and I'm just throwing it out there only because I've seen it in the past. They're gonna give you that, and they're gonna say, "Will you were you wearing it when you got it?" Because they are gonna try and esquivar or go around the fact that you didn't get the coronavirus at school, so they don't have to protect you and they don't have to give you what you deserve if you contract the virus at the school. They're gonna say, "We gave you this, you forgot to wear it, or you didn't wear it appropriately, you didn't do it the right way." So when you do get sick and you go to the hospital, guess what? BASD is gonna wash their hands off of you.
100%. Claudia, what about the people that have been at the schools all summer? For example, the school secretary, custodians, nobody has spoken up for them. Claudia, you're mistaken. I think both Carlos and I have been yelling and screaming for weeks and months for our custodians, for our lunch ladies, for our front office staff, Claudia. And let me tell you, we were the ones that reported the death of our lunch lady and the death of our custodian. We reported it, the death of our teachers. And we stated our people are being used as guinea pigs by this corrupt board and this uncaring superintendent. So, yeah, we've been advocating. Yep. We've been screaming and demanding that no one be sent on campus, Claudia. We have. Nobody else has. You're not going to hear it in the newspapers. You're not going to hear it from the news. We have. AOBE, the Teacher Association, AOBE has as well. Erasmo, put on the BID mask and try to blow out the lighter and the candle through the mask. I don't have a candle. I'll do that tomorrow. But guys, my beard is coming out through this thing. I don't know if you can see the stubble. You see it? My beard is coming out of this thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But can we survive until November? My prayers. Just continue to social distance. Continue to use hand sanitizer. Continue to not take your kids back and forth into Walmart and to HEB. Have families of dead school employees through the board. Rowena, let me tell you, if they haven't gotten an attorney yet, they're late to the game. If they have not gotten an attorney yet, they are late to the game. Kickbacks. Yo abrí un lugar para jugar chalupa. You kept big stupid. Will teachers get a shower curtain with the school supplies at the beginning of the school year? I need it for my bathroom. That's a good one. Yes, crazy. Shouts out to the law office. I think that's a bad one. Of Mr. Tempino. Ah! Ah! Now I know what you're trying to say. Ah! Who owns the bingo place? It was Abel, pórtate bien, Abel.
That's the superintendent's telling everybody.
No, sorry. Guys, and let me make something clear. I've asked prayers for and let me tell you guys, one of the things that I think people need to understand, when I say I want prayers for the family of Mr. Garcia, it means that it usually means that the person has passed away. When I ask prayers for a specific person, is because they are suffering right now. And I'll give you an example. My friend Alex passed away. When my friend Alex passed away, I asked for prayers for the family. I love Alex. While Alex was in the hospital, while Alex was in the hospital fighting, I asked for prayers for Alex. Does that make sense? But yeah, I know
Hmm.
there's some people that prayed for the person that's already passed away. The person that's passed away has gone over to the other side. You pray for the people that are still here. Wasn't the permit guy arrested for having people pay for his expensive or how to get a permit? Yeah, yeah. La gente encerrada for 4 months quiere salir. Jugar bingo. People are dying. Yeah, it's crazy. Opening bingo halls. What's next? The flea market. Actually, yes, because now the flea market is saying, "Hey, if you're gonna open bingos, might as well open us up." Call corporate for those restaurants. Shout out to Hector Senor. Uh, Carlos, last words.
Stay safe, man. Just keep fighting the fight, guys. I mean, all I can tell you is it's gonna get a little worse before it gets better. I mean, we have to try and get as much pressure on the school board to do the right things. The superintendent's not gonna do anything. Don't think the superintendent's here for you guys. He's not from here. He doesn't care about us. We need to focus the pressure on the school board. You have five individuals that are running. Those are the people you need to attack first. The other two are worthless. But in those individuals, you need to push hard so they can do the right things for our staff and for our kids. It's going to come to that. Teachers, you guys need to get up and go and vote. You need to make sure that your voices are heard. AOB has been out there in the front lines. The other two associations are just there, collecting your dues and not doing anything. Fight for what you think is going to make things change. Stand up, reach out, talk to individuals who you think are going to be your voice. And remember November. That's all I got to tell you. Remember November.
Guys, thank you so much. I appreciate your patience with me. I was receiving a phone call from a friend in regards to the situation going on at VICC, but which I'll address with the city of Brownsville in a little bit. I think that they're the ones that are responsible for it. Guys, please, guys, it's very important, the numbers aren't going down. The numbers are high. Our nursing homes are struggling. Our nurses are fighting this. The front lines are having a hard time. I will let you know that Dr. Eder Hernandez has opened up the testing site at his clinic for from 5 p.m. to 12 midnight in order to allow the individuals who are work during the day don't have the opportunity to be able to go test in the evenings. There is a questionnaire that has to be filled out. It is on my page. Guys, during these times, please make sure you take care of each other. Please make sure you take care of individuals who are struggling out there. And please, above all else, please be good to each other. Tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., be here. Uh, be good to each other and please be good to me. God bless.